Shalom, Kahalalim La Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Wahab Hakodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of GMS who rule well, who I learned this truth from. And salutations and blessings to you elect, starting with the 144,000 and the rest on down. So this video is going into lambs versus goats. Okay? Lambs versus goats. He shall separate the lambs from the goats. Right? So, or the sheep, Slakia. I should say sheep as well, but again, sheep, a lamb is a sheep. Okay, a lamb is just a very young sheep. All right, all lambs are sheeps, but not all sheeps are lambs. So you can understand. Okay, it's of the same family, but for this specific term or lesson, I'll use the term lamb, but it's really sheep in the scriptures, which we're gonna get, and we're gonna go into the characteristics of the two, the differences, and apply that to Esau and Jacob, right? Because symbolically, you Edomites are known or represented as the goat, right? And henceforth, it's not a surprise that that term goat is pushed in this society, right? It's used as an acronym, right? Greatest of all time, but really, it's that was never a term, right? The GOAT, right? The greatest. They would just say the greatest of all time. They just dubbed GOAT the last 10 years, maybe 15 years. Okay. But I never remembered before people say, hey, you're the GOAT, the GOAT this, GOAT that. Okay. One thing I can say from this picture, right, just from generally in goats and lambs, you see the goat has the two horns, which represents power, might, aggressiveness, but let's go to Matthew 25:31, and this is Yahweh Shai. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, right, which is righteousness, right, the blessed, but the goats on the left. Okay, because you are the wicked. Matter of fact, when you look up this word goat, right down here, Eriphion. Let me get the pronunciation.
Strong's G 2055, Eriphion.
Eriphion. Down here it says symbolically wicked person. Who is the wicked? Job 9:24. Right? The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. If not, wherein who is he? Right? So this is going into the fact that you Edomites, like in Daniel 8, when it talks about Antiochus Epiphanes, he is represented as a goat, the he goat, right? The he goat. During the time of when the Greeks came into power through Macedon, Philip of Macedon, when the Edomites, however, we don't have the whole history on that, but we know they took over, right? And they've been trying to take over since the times of the Persian Empire. It tells you that in the rest of the books of Esther, right? How they tried to translate the kingdom or transition the kingdom from the Persians to the Greeks. The original Greeks, we know it to be the Japhetic people, what they call the Etruscans, and there's many other names, the Ionians, and hence and so forth and so on. Those were dark-skinned Japhetic people. You can look at the murals and the icons, not the icons, but they had murals and relics, and the other term is statues and carvings. You see dark-skinned people with braids, okay, and those are Japhetic people. We know during the time of Philip, the emblem of a goat came into prevalence. It became very popular. Specifically during the time of Philip, he started putting it on helmets, goat helmets, right? I did a lesson on that a couple months back. He started putting the emblem on the Macedonian shields, specifically a goat. Why? It's the spirit, right? You guys are the goats. What else do goats do? Goats, we always use this example. Goats will be climbing up a steep, narrow-ass mountain. Okay, there's specific goats right? Esau labels them differently according to different kinds, right? Variations. There's goats that are walking up the crevices, the cracks of whole high mountains, man. And that's you Edomites. You dwelt in the cliffs of the rocks. And that's why you build your society with these, what do they call them? Skyscrapers, which is a proud term. Trying to say, yeah, we're so high up, we're scraping. You're not even scraping the sky, man. You're not even scraping the half of the middle of the sky. All right, but that's a proud term, right? These modern day Mount Seir, Petra-ass mountain buildings, man. What they call condominiums and corporate offices and all this fucking bullshit, right? You're not supposed to have these high ass buildings. You know, in the winter, a lot of times, for example, this is just a quick example, in Toronto in the winter, you'll have, you know, snow and ice storms, and then you have those icicles hanging off 100+ feet, you know, off the condos, and ice will be falling, and then they'll have to put a sign up if nobody got hit and died, right? If nobody got hit and died, they put a sign up, don't walk here, ice falling, warning, ice. All this bullshit, man. Right? But that is indicative of your nature, Esau, Edom, right? You take risks like that, right? You defy, right? You guys, hey, and there's an Edomite from France. He does free climbing, right? You can look this up. Guy that climbs buildings without a fucking harness, man. This guy just has some chalk, you know, he puts on his hand, and he just climbs up, man. He's been arrested before. He's never fallen though. You know, he actually fucking, never mind mountain climbers, he's doing modern day mountain climbing, which is these buildings. He's climbing these fucking buildings, man. One sec, let me, right, this is it. I found this. And it's popular. This is popular amongst Edomites, right? But I'm going to show this. This is without a harness. This dude, madman. Bro, what spirit possesses you to do this? You see, he got some protege or apprentice with him, but usually the videos, he's been doing this for like years, decades, bro. Okay, this is just a spirit of you Edomite. So guess what? If this is on buildings here that are higher than mountains, sometimes clearly Edomites were doing this from time. You know, once, okay, and like I said here, this, you know. This is AI. That's AI. But you'll see this shit, right? They're good at this. This is the spirit of the Edomite, man. Right? Simple. And that's what they do. You'll see them walk like this. You know, you get the point. And this is a trait of you Edomites that got passed on. Okay? So let me get this. I asked chat about the nature of goats. So it says independent to a fault, curious, restless, always testing boundaries, just like you Edomites. Right? Gone where no man has gone before. You know, go where no man has gone before. You know, they have this idea of exploring space, exploring the sea, going here, going there, doing this. Right? Climbs instead of follows. Which means what? You don't take instruction. That's in the book of Psalms. What have ye to do to take my words, seeing thou hatest instruction and the laws of the Most High, right? Eats almost anything, including what harms it. You know what this reminds me of? That show, the Edomites go. There's specific Edomite, I remember, I just don't remember his name, but he'll go and he'll be like, oh, this is roasted snake, you know, or this is, oh, we're in the jungle of Cambodia, and you know, oh, this is what they eat here, and let me try this. It's crunchy. You know, they have that Australian or British accent. You know, trying all kinds of lizard and all kinds of food, eats anything, almost anything, you know. Temperament is stubborn, clever but unruly, which is what? Like a snake. Shrewd, craft, right? Hard to herd, right? Chooses its own path even when it leads to trouble. That's why you're the son of perdition. You are the red horse in Revelation 6. You are meant to take peace from the earth. Okay? You are meant to cause chaos in the earth. Okay? Disorder, symbolically self-willed, rebellious, thrives on opposition, strength without submission. A goat survives by grit, not guidance. Useful, tough, but always resisting the hand that leads. Now I gotta say this. Does this make a goat wicked? Of course not. Just like the symbol of an eagle is not wicked. Jake's had that symbol as well. But you see the two differences. Esau uses it for different purposes, as in we're the highest, we're the best, we're doing, we're pushing these boundaries, we're effing up the Most High's people, we're cursing the Most High, right? Esau uses it as on the left hand side, where they will be placed. Jake, for the most part, used it on the right hand side as a symbol of boldness, strength, swiftness, right? Not testing boundaries and limits. Even though Jake was wicked, I'm just saying in general, left and right, if you divide it. So a goat, a goat is not wicked. There's nothing wicked about a goat. It's just a creature of the Most High. You can eat it. You can goat meat. You can have clothes from it. The cashmere. It's one of the best fabrics, warmest fabrics on the planet. Soft. Okay. You can have goat milk, goat cheese. All right. Now here's lamb, sheep, nature, gentle, trusting, follows the flock, grazes carefully. Temperament, obedient, calm, easily led, vulnerable, without protection, right? So we are the lost sheep of the house of Israel. We stray along. Yahushua said, if one of the sheep stray, shall not you go and find it and look for it, because sheep stray. They're simple. Okay? But it's a two-edged thing. It can be simple in a bad way, of course. Simple in a good way, meaning you receive instruction very well. That's why the scriptures say in Proverbs 1, all ye simple come to the word, roughly paraphrasing, listen to the words of the Most High, come hear instruction. Right? All ye simple turn in hither. Right? Symbolically, humility, something that Esau does not possess. Innocence, submission to rightful authority. Strength through unity and guidance. A lamb does not conquer terrain, it inherits pasture. In people, goat-minded people, right? And you got to be careful, because I'm not asking, hey, are Caucasians or Edom? I asked before it, tie this in with people. How does this fit with people? And this is what it said. Goat-minded people lead themselves, challenge everything, resist correction. Now I have to get it now because it's in my mind. Hatest instruction. Isaiah, Psalms 50:16. But unto the wicked, the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction, and castest my words behind thee? When thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with him, meaning agreed, and hast been partakers with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son. Okay. Verse 17 NLT says, for you refuse my discipline and treat my words like trash. That's you Edomites, man. All right. It says, often make mistakes. And often mistake defiance for strength, meaning I'm going to go this way, I'm going to rebel, I'm going to be the stronger. Hey, that's Wisdom of Solomon. Let our strength, was that, how does it go? Let our strength, real quick. Wisdom of Solomon 2:11. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. Okay, so for Esau, you're a punk. You receive instruction. You're, as they say in the world, you're a sheep, right? You're a good sheep. You follow, right? But like I said, there's two ways to look at it. It's a double-edged, twofold. Yeah, of course we call these people sheep. You just follow in the wrong sense. But to be a sheep on the right hand, that's a whole different thing. You're getting in line with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, right? That's a good way to be a sheep. Okay, don't get it twisted. Lamb-hearted people submit to truth, endure quietly, grow steadily, and receive protection through alignment. Okay, so let me get this one more scripture. Again, pinpointing that goat, the book of Genesis. So this is Genesis 27 and 15. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau. Now this is when they were going to trick Jacob. Okay. It's like Isaac. Rebekah was helping Jacob to trick, pretty much supplant, as Jacob is an omen, meaning supplanter, Yaquab, to supplant Isaac, or really supplant Esau, so Isaac can give the blessing to Jacob, right, the righteous blessing. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob her younger son. And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands, and upon the smooth of his neck. Right, that's one thing about you Edomites. You guys got a back like a bear. You got hair everywhere, and it said that she had to put, so Esau was hairy, man. You had to put the skins of goats on his hands. That means his hands were all hairy, man. Okay, so that was the point. So anyway, I hope you're edified with that. Shalom.